Hi there, I'm Novadev, and today I'm going to be showing you how to install the Atavism server onto a Windows Server VPS to use the Atavism Windows Manager to run your Atavism base game. For this tutorial, I'm going to be using a Cloud Rift North America based unit. It's going to be on a standard package, which includes 8 CPUs, 16 gigabytes of RAM, 100 gigabytes of storage, and of course Windows Server operating system installed. Alright, once our server is deployed and we have our credentials to log in, we need to remote access it. To do that, we're going to go to search, type in remote desktop. From there we can click the remote desktop connection app. What's going to pop up, it's going to ask you to put in your computer IP, so we're going to put in the computer IP that was given to us. To change our username, hit show options, and we can type in administrator. Once we're happy with that, we can hit connect. It's going to ask us for our password. We can dump in mine, click OK. It's going to hit us with another pop-up showing us a computer we're trying to connect to. In this case, it's going to be VPS Cloud Rift. So we're going to go yes to confirm. Once we've remotely connected to the Windows server, we need to start installing our Atavism objects. There's multiple ways to do this. I find the best way is to just use the installed browsers, but you can transfer it in other ways as well. So I'm going to go ahead and open up Google Chrome. I'm going to go to A panel, remove dashboard. All right. We click login. We're going to put in our details. Once we've logged into our A panel, we're going to need to access our downloads. So we go to the left here, click My Downloads. For this installation, I'm going to go with a 10.11. But if we wanted to change that, we could pick more versions from the drop down on the top of the page. Just going to click download, and we're going to need our manager, which is going to be the Atavism Manager with Java 17 LTS. So from there we can click download. Got those going. Go into our downloads tab, and we have our two packages here. Start with the Atavism Manager, double click on that. Okay, we can hit next once we get onto the wizard. This is going to be your download location. I'm going to keep it as is on C. Hit next, and then install. Once the Atavism Manager has finished its installation, we can click out of it. We can go to our C disk where it is installed. Can click on Atavism Manager, and then from here you can see where the application is. So we'll double click on it. It's going to pop up with an error. It says we're missing our .NET framework version 4.8. It says, do you want to install this .NET framework version now? We can hit yes. don't download the 4.8.1 runtime. You're going to want to scroll down to hit other versions. .NET Framework 4.8 is what we want. You can hit download .NET Framework 4.8 runtime. And click to download manually. Run. Once our 4.8 .NET Framework is finished, we can go back to our C drive where we put our Atavism Manager download originally. We can hit the Atavism application. Try open that again. Close off our files. Once we're at this point, we can go and do our server installation. So I'm going to go ahead and hit my downloads, 10.11, hit open. If your install button is not high or not clickable, you'll have to start the database SQL. So I'll go ahead and start, and then it's highlighted and ready to install. So we'll go ahead and click that. Which will start our server file installation. Okay, once the server has finished the installation and it's all ready to go there, we're going to start filling in our configuration details. I've gone ahead and already put mine in. These will be specific to your Atavism account, your Atavism login, email, your license key that's provided on the Atavism site. We're going to keep our ports the same for these 6 options. The only thing we're going to need to change is our host name and IP. That'll be below here, and this will be the unit you're currently working on that you use to log into the VPS. So once we have all that stuff input, we can go ahead and hit start on our world server and start on our authentication server. Occasionally, when you're starting for the first time, there's a chance that you'll fail to create your heaps. If that happens, stop both servers and attempt to start again. Okay, so looks like our world's good, just waiting for our authentication. Okay, perfect. Looks like we're good here. Bring up our resource manager. See how we're loaded. Looks good. For this install, we went with an 8-core unit, which is a good starting point for Atavism. Not a whole lot of load right now. Looks like we're around 25 to 30%. Perfect. Okay, so at this point now we just need to look into our ports. As the server is working as anticipated, but we are unable to get outside connections. So to do this, what we're going to end up doing is stopping our servers. Click off. And we'll actually go ahead and stop and close these as well. I'm going to go to Advanced, Defender Firewall. go to inbound rules, start building our rules for our connections. New rule. In the top right, we're going to hit port. It's going to be a TCP 3306 for the first one. We're going to call that Atavism 3306 TCP. You can name them whatever you want. I just do this naming scheme to keep it easy to organize. Again, new rule, port, TCP, we're going to go 5042. Next, allow connection, next, Atavism 5042, TCP. And then new rule, port, this one's going to be a UDP. We're going to go 5052. Allow the connection. We go Atavism 5052 UDP. Again, same thing, new rule. Port TCP 5566. This will be TCP. Port 9005. TCP. I'll put a list of these in the description as well. And this will be the last one. Port. We're going to go UDP on this one. 9010. Allow connection. Atavism 9010 UDP. So in total we should have 6. And this is what it should look like here. Four TCPs, 2 UDPs. And then we're ready to accept connections from other computers. At this point we can close this, go back to our Atavism. Start our database. World authentication. Wait for this to confirm we're set up. Awesome, you can log in now. Done initializing. So we can now go back to our client. Okay, so we've deployed our Windows Server from CloudRift. We've installed the Atavism Windows Manager onto the VPS. We've configured all of our settings, and we've configured our ports to accept outside traffic. Now we're back onto our Unity client, where we've dropped in a fresh 10.11 core demo pack from Atavism. There's only a couple more steps we have to do to set up our client and server. So I'm going to jump into assets, going to go to Dragon Sound, scenes, going to go to our login page. From there, we're going to want to go to our Atavism core on the hierarchy under our login. And then from there, under our client API, we're going to want to dump in our Cloud Rift server IP. And we can copy and paste that into our prefab server. Once that's done, in the top left, we're going to go File, Save. And then we're ready to attempt a login here. So we're going to play our scene. We'll need to register an account as it's a brand new server. So we're going to go novadev for the username, email address, test@test.com. Hit create. We're going to get the message account created. You can now log in. Just put in those details into the login. And we're going to hit login. Perfect. So looks like our demo data from Atavism loaded correctly. We have the orc and the human class. Pick orc username. Create. And we're going to enter. Awesome. Looks like we've loaded in successfully. We've got good connectivity. Can check out the demo data that was installed. Looks like everything's working properly. Awesome. And that's the end for this video. Be sure to comment if you have any questions or need any help. And happy developing.